Throughout our history, Americans have answered our nation's call. They have set aside their personal hopes and aspirations, left their families and civilian lives behind, and all too often made the ultimate sacrifice so that the rest of us might live in freedom. The United War Veterans Council is dedicated to ensuring that America's veterans and military, and the families who stand behind them, receive the respect and recognition they deserve. Through a wide range of activities and programs, including the largest Veterans Day Parade in America, it mobilizes the public to demonstrate its support for those who serve and provides its volunteers and partners with the opportunity to fulfill their obligation to those who bear the burden of defending our liberties. Unfortunately, the American public has not always lived up to its responsibilities to those who have served.
Returning home in 1968 was an eye-opening experience.
After Vietnam, there was a real antipathy towards veterans.
There was nobody looking after us. The American public, including the veterans community, abandoned the Vietnam veterans while we were in the field, and it became the requirement of us, Vietnam veterans, to fight the fight for the guys and the gals who didn't come home or who came home damaged.
Going into the 1980s and 1990s, the resilience of the Vietnam veterans would prove to be vital in turning back the tide of apathy that threatened even the most time-honored public institutions.
The Veterans Day Parade continually shrank.
No one was there cheering, no one was there saying hello, no one was saying thank you. It was just literally just walking down with a group of people walking behind us.
The wisdom of the leadership was that there was no interest and therefore we should collapse the parade.
A fellow veteran, Bernard Ray, recalled that there had been an organization called the United War Veterans Council, formed to organize the Veterans Day parades shortly after World War II.
At which point, a number of us started the United War Veterans Council to pick up the pieces of the Veterans Day Parade and the veterans community and turn it into a centerpiece of honoring service.
From that point forward, the United War Veterans Council led the parade into a new era of growth and stability. The 1995 Nations Parade for the 50th anniversary of World War II set a new standard for public events honoring service. Then, in 2001, following the attacks of September 11th, the United War Veterans Council led the veterans community in rallying the public to embrace a new generation of servicemen and women.
I know many of the Vietnam veterans said that they would never let anyone come home from a war like they had to come home from a war.
They took the time and understood that the path had to be recreated so that we would not be hurt. And I think they've been very successful.
Today, the United War Veterans Council continues to make the New York City Veterans Day Parade a focal point for inspiring public support for our veterans and military.
Veterans Day goes to teaching people the importance of recognizing and remembering those who do service year-round. And you see the pride in these veterans and the active duty units coming together to celebrate service to country. And you see the mothers, the fathers, the grandfathers, the uncles showing up on the side wearing their t-shirts and their hats saying what unit they served with, or in some cases what units maybe their daughter or their son served with who are no longer with us. And you can just see the pride in the community.
To walk down Fifth Avenue, the best avenue in America, I could say, and be honored by just people you don't know, it just brings us, the whole city, the whole country together at that moment. It's an honor.
It's hard to express, but I have the chills. I used to feel the same way when I marched during World War II.
The first parade I was in, there was a platoon of women which went over very big. It was the first parade I was in, and to hear the applause on Fifth Avenue, it really gets in your blood.
And I know a tear came to many of us. I could see the handkerchiefs come out, including mine, you know. Yeah, it was very stirring.
To see tears in a grown man's eyes because someone's thanking them for their service, it's very profound. It's a very profound experience.
It's an acknowledgement for the men and women who served. It's really incredible. And the publicity that we get, articles in the front page, biggest parade ever, you know, and articles and articles and articles and articles. Then it's TV. All of this stuff is going on. And through this attention, we're able to help all these participating groups get their message out in order to help veterans and military.
As the war goes on, it's not in the front page anymore. The little that we see about the war is the ticker on the bottom of a newscast. The Veterans Day Parade is important to organizations like the Wounded Warrior Project and veterans in general because it raises awareness.
Samaritan Village has been working with veterans for 15 years, and we provide treatment services, mental health services, PTSD treatment for a veteran who has been disconnected from that part of his life to be able to march down Fifth Avenue and receive the love and support of the entire city of New York. It's an incredibly healing experience.
The challenges facing the New York City veterans community is to be able to provide assistance to our returning veterans from the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The Veterans Day Parade has continued to raise the awareness of the entire community of the contributions and the dedication and the needs that veterans have.
As the parade expands its reach through television and the internet, it has grown into its role as our nation's parade.
When this thing first got started, we'd get started in September, work up and have the parade in November. And then by the middle of November, we closed the doors and turn out the lights. That was it.
Over the past years, the United War Veterans has raised the level of noise about the veterans.
It started to become known that New York City was the epicenter for events that are honoring service, and that the United War Veterans Council was the go-to group in New York City to make sure those events happened.
Believe it or not, other countries have looked at us and really appreciate what we do.
American people helped us a lot, so I want to help the American veterans.
I think that we're showing that. We're showing that the tradition, the values of that tradition is alive and well.
The UWVC has achieved its success by reaching beyond the traditional veterans community and encouraging the participation of individuals and organizations, especially those who are not themselves veterans or veteran-related.
Over years, over time, we've assembled an incredible group of people. What better way to give back to the community than to volunteer, particularly with the veterans community?
They all have hearts of gold, and they do what they can to support our troops, but also their families.
I try to follow their model, and by doing that, I believe I'm doing the veterans of future generations a world of good.
As a high school student, I have a lot of aspirations in life. I would love to go to college, become a doctor, and veterans make that possible for us because they keep us safe and give us our freedom.
They welcome me with such open arms. I'm a civilian. I never knew that I could have volunteered or had anything to do with veterans. I thought that was a closed community, but I was wrong.
In addition to its volunteers, the United War Veterans Council works with corporate partners who share its commitment to recognizing those who serve.
HBO engages in supporting veterans because it's the right thing to do. It comes natural to us at HBO because we understand the obligation that we have to our veterans. It really is a quite simple and honest act to support those who have served and secured the country's freedoms.
History is so proud to participate in the Veterans Day Parade and the United War Veterans Council activities because it demonstrates our commitment to our vets of all different wars and all different eras. In fact, these activities give us a chance to demonstrate that not only to our veterans, to everybody in the country, that this is something we support.
What you didn't know probably was that U-Haul was founded by a veteran, a Navy man returning after World War II. Today, we offer priority hiring status to all veterans, our small way of saying thank you for your service.
It's my opinion, and I think opinion of most other veterans, that corporations who recognize the fact that their employees have done something else, something that allows this company to thrive, will earn the everlasting loyalty of those employees.
Through the Veterans Day Parade and its other initiatives, the United War Veterans Council continues to expand its work to mobilize support for our veterans and military, and to promote and sustain one of the founding principles of our nation: commitment to service.
The idea that freedom is not free has got to always be remembered as the price we pay for democracy. Just as words count and elections count, honoring service in some tangible way is critically important.
It's so important because this country, established itself as a result of veterans.
They are asked to go to countries whose language they don't speak, whose culture they don't understand, not to fight wars for the purpose of gathering land for America or enriching this country, but to go there and bring peace.
You say the Korean War, forgotten war, maybe, but it's not forgotten in my mind.
Because my injuries don't end the day that I was injured. They don't end the day that I got my prosthetics. They don't end 5 years after I got home. They'll carry me around for the rest of my life.
Unfortunately, service to country is service that has an ultimate risk of death. And I believe that those who are willing to wear this uniform are entitled to a country that remembers them every day of the year.
They have sacrificed so much. Their families have sacrificed so much for our freedom, so we can have families and we can pursue our dreams and we can be who we want to be and the goals that we've set for ourselves, and it's all because of them.
When they go over there to serve their country in whatever capacity, they do it for you. They do it for your mother, your daughter, your son, and your grandparents.
And so Veterans Day is a wonderful opportunity for us to live up to that responsibility, to celebrate the veterans' experience, and to stand together, united as a city, as a community, simply to say thank you and welcome home.
And now it's up to us to make this parade bigger and better than it ever was, and the next year to do it again and make it bigger and better than it ever was. So it's our job is to get everybody out and just do it better again.
The United War Veterans Council invites you to join its mission to ensure that America's veterans receive the support and recognition they have so justly earned. To learn more about how you or your organization can join us, contact us today.